Bienvenidos and welcome to Hockey's Pacific Revision. In year one, it was improbable. Miracle run. To year 6, it became inevitable. The 2022-23 Stanley Cup Champions are your Las Vegas Golden Knights. Here to celebrate, I guess. The Golden One himself, Miguel. Say hi, Miguel.
What up, everybody? What's up, Pacific Ridge fans? Hello from beautiful Las Vegas, home of your 2023 Stanley Cup Champions. Yes, I said it. Yes, it's true. Don't have to pinch yourself. You're not asleep. We are relieved. We united the realms, boys. The Golden Knights united the realms. There is peace once again in the hockey world. There is balance in the world. There is rainbows out there. Just everybody go out there, hug your kids, kiss your wives, and just enjoy life because all is right in the world and there's nothing bad going on.
Well. Look, Miguel. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. It was a long 6 years for you. Long wait.
Torturous.
Grueling, agonizing, some would say. But the wait is over. 6 years in. The prophecy has been fulfilled. Bill Foley was right. He even underestimated. Fuck, playoffs in 3 years. Cup in 6. Congratulations. How does it feel? How was your night last night? On a surprisingly easy 9-3 win in the cup clinching game.
I'm gonna run you through my day yesterday. I'll make it as quick as possible, but it still might drag on a bit. It was fantastic. I'm gonna take you from the beginning. I wake up and I gotta say, Eric.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were gonna admit year one. We get a team.
I mean, I would love to talk from the beginning.
I'm okay. No, just start with the morning. The morning of the cup win.
I don't want to take up your whole day.
I'm good.
So I will only tell you of today.
No, yesterday.
Yesterday. I mean, since we won, it's all one big day. You know what I mean? It
hasn't stopped.
I wake up and I am a nervous wreck, Eric. Yes, we are up 3-1 in the series. Yes, only one team ever in history has come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. But Vegas has blown a 3-1 deficit before. Panthers did come back from a 3-1 deficit this year against Boston. But one thing I've always said, and I watch what I said on the internet, so it didn't come back to bite me in the ass.
Coward.
But those are mugs. Those around me. Those around me. Like when Florida Florida came back 3-1 against Boston, you know what I'd say, Eric?
What?
We're not Boston.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that. So I'm nervous all day. I didn't get any work done at work. I was just nervous. First off, and then I'm going with my brother. He's a season ticket holder, best brother in the world. He said when he texted me after we lost after game 4 win, so we knew it was going to 5. He texted me a gif of the number 5, and I asked him, "Are you selling or are you going?" And he says, "We're going." And I'm like, "We as in you and me, we? Or we as in you and your fiance, we?" And he's like, "You and me." And he's like, "We started this together. We're finishing together." And I'm not going to lie, I got very emotional that night. I was very happy that I'm going to be able to experience this with my brother. We were there since day one, game 1 in the preseason, game 1 of the season. We watched Ovi lift the cup in defeat. So to do this with my brother just meant the world to me. It was amazing. So I'm nervous all day. I get out of work. We go to the New York. We have a shit ton. We have 6 tall cans of Modelo, 2 Buzz Balls. And so we get there at 2:30, game's at 5. Steve Aoki does a concert at 3 o'clock in front of the Toshiba Plaza. And Steve Aoki, big DJ. I'm sure if you guys have heard of him, you should know. I assumed this concert is gonna be more of a like, oh, I'm gonna play popular radio songs for people to play along. This guy played like a club EDC set, whereas like he wasn't playing like the popular songs. He was just playing songs that go hard. You know what I mean? That was amazing. We get in the arena. Fast forward, we get in the arena. I'm drunk. My brother's drunk, and I have a calm to me. I don't know what it is. Once we got in the arena, there's like an electric feeling to it. You can feel the excitement from everybody. You can feel the energy. And I know that's corny, but it's true. Like, you could just feel it in the air. Just something felt like tonight is our night, is what it felt like. You get to the game starts, and they're starting out the misfit. Every misfit except for William Carrier. We had...
Should have put him in net. Put him in net for one shift.
Did you hear that? What, that quote?
Nah.
Oh, so either way, we got Smith, Carlson, Marshy, and then in defense we have McNabb and Theodore, and obviously Hill in net. So when I swear, when that happened, when that misfit line, I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, we're not losing tonight. This team knows they're not losing tonight. The fact that they put out all the misfits line, it's kind of saying like, look, these are the guys that started it, and we're gonna fucking finish this 6 years later. And later that night, after the game ended, they interviewed William Carrier and asked him, "Oh, how'd you feel about not being a part of it?" Because he's like, "Oh, Bruce Cassidy came up to me and apologized." He's like, "Sorry, we can only put one left wing in there, and it's gonna be Riley." And then Carrier said, I told him I'd put on the pads to start the game, and after the first whistle, we could change me out for Hill."
Yeah.
Carrier, just funny dude. That would have been great if they actually did that. He might have given a goal up, but that would have been great.
Start the game empty net. The rule that says you can't.
That is true. Try to win the face off and just fucking ice it.
Just ice it and you're good.
Yeah, there you go. You're right. You are right. Or, well, you can't do changes on icing actually.
But you can put a goalie back.
Or offside. They're doing offsides.
No,
either way.
You can put a goalie back. Yeah, you can put a goalie back.
But yeah, so after that, I was honestly calm. We go up 2-0. Mark Stone with the shorthanded goal, just absolutely beautiful. And for those who watched the game, and I know you watched the game.
I did not. I did not.
Oh, you did not watch the game.
I was 100% serious. I had stuff to do. I'm not. This isn't like
okay. That's fine. That's fine.
It's Nicole's job complicated things. Blah blah.
Oh,
her building's a mess.
Life happens.
I did do stuff, so don't worry. Like I was keeping track of it.
For those who watch the game, and if you watch the highlights at any point,
I have not.
What I'm not saying you have. Say when you get a chance, watch the highlights. Watch Mark Stone. That is a man that they all were playing this way, but Mark Stone, I feel like especially was playing. We're not losing tonight. Like there's no way in hell it's gonna take everything to lose tonight, because normally if you watch Mark Stone, and it's hard to describe, but if you watch him how you know, and you've seen him play enough times, he has this weird wide stride where he's kind of slow, and he does like this movement when he skates. So he skates slow. That's just how he is. But he has good touch. He has high hockey IQ. But this night he was like, I've never seen Mark Stone skate so fast in my life. Just watch the play on that shorthanded goal where he pokes the puck, and I've never seen a man skate to that puck so fast and get to the goalie. Stops right in front of Bobrovsky, and I'm like, oh man, Mark Stone fucked up. Like he's too close to Bob. He has no angle. And Chandler Stevenson on the right skated, was going fast, but he already had passed. It's kind of like when we play NHL 23, where you're going for the cross crease pass, and the other guy just goes too far. That's what Chandler Stevenson did. So Mark Stone just kind of like, he stops, he moves the stick left to right, and then just roofs it. And it was just beautiful. And the place blew up off the roof, and then we just rolled on them. We just pounced, destroyed. Whatever you want to say, we did to the Florida Panthers, who were missing Matthew Tkachuk, who is a big part of that team, who is the reason they were made. Him and Bob were literally the two reasons they made it this far. And Tkachuk had a broken sternum from the massive hit that Colasar laid on him in Game 3. Regardless of injury, Vegas still wins this series. I have no doubt in my mind, because Can we say? Can I say? Can we say, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the most dominant run by a team next to probably Colorado through a playoffs? Like they may not have won it in the least amount of games, but the way they controlled and dominated every team and every series is kind of ridiculous. Like.
No,
I'm not saying that this Golden Knights team. I'm not saying that this Golden Knights team would beat other championship teams. I'm just saying the way they trounce these playoffs, statistically, the way they, especially on 5-on-5 hockey, is kind of ridiculous.
No, and that's not to put anything against it. I just think other runs were a little more like if we're talking like dominant. Like it's just another category of like controlling and stuff. Like the Kings never trailed in the series. They swept one. They lost 4 games in total. Quick was a 9-4-5. That's not to say, like that was just dominant. Like I've never seen a more dominant run outside of maybe like in basketball, the 2001 Lakers who went 16-1 in the playoffs. And that's just a whole nother thing.
I'm not saying in games wins. I'm just saying when you looked on ice, like they always looked like they were outclassing every team except Edmonton. But it's just the power plays.
No, I was gonna say like Colorado last year was. It just seems like it becomes inevitable. Like this team just looks good. Like if everything goes right, it's a combination of like you said, to be lucky, you have to be good, right? Like that's the.
I agree. You got to be good to be lucky. You got to be lucky to be good. It goes hand in hand with winning championships. I believe that 100%. And I am biased, of course, but I just feel like the way Vegas was playing since almost the beginning, and especially once they got to Game 5 against the Edmonton Oilers, it felt like. This team will not be denied anymore. That's what it felt like watching, which is kind of what it felt like watching Colorado last year and Tampa that bubble year. Like it felt like these teams will not be denied. There is nobody that will stand in their way.
I think the thing that again we're missing with Vegas in terms of the story, right? The narrative is like I've said it before. I've said it the last 3 episodes, the last 2 rounds. Vegas' team, like there isn't a. This is probably the most like even kill in terms of a run. Like it's just consistent. Like the drop, there was no drop in consistency from the Vegas Golden Knights in whatever amount of playoff games they played. Like but also to trade that off, you didn't need. Let's just say that you didn't need this to happen. You didn't need Jack Eichel to score a goal in the final, right? Crazy.
No, exactly.
Stupid as that sounds.
He didn't score a goal in the last 2 series. And even still, I consider him the consummate winner in my eyes.
You go through, let's say, because I know this well, the 2012 LA Kings had Jonathan Quick have just games where he dominated and won it by himself. The 2020 Lightning in the bubble, Vasilevsky became a guy on a mission to, just take him. The last year Colorado Avalanche had key moments where Cale Makar carried that team into a cup. You didn't really need that with this team. Yeah, no. you just didn't. You had
literally different guys stepped up every night.
Yeah, like I was just about to say, you had guys like Chandler Stevenson having 2-goal games in the final to propel you over. You had Willem Carrier contribute from the 4th line along with Keegan Colasar. You had, you have Martinez almost had another Stanley Cup game-winning goal. Like
stupid Florida, they ruined that, man. They ruined it.
The list goes on and on. Too. Where I don't know if this Vegas team overwhelms other teams like other Stanley Cup champion teams half before them. Like if you look at Colorado just last year, like they would just have moments where they would just dominate. And when Vegas is at their best this year, it just seemed like the machine just worked perfectly. And it's not even like impressing their will. It's one of those things where like we talked about it like a while back where after we recorded last episode, you asked me, do you think the Kings could have beaten this Vegas team? And I was like, maybe in round 1. Like, these 2 teams were so different in round 1.
Oh, I agree.
Just going into it, just not having the adversity you need to do. And it's just getting into that rhythm. Like, it's whoever can get into the rhythm and have everything kind of fall in line.
I mean, perfectly. This team, behind me, and for those listeners, my background is the championship photo from last night. This team would trounce round one Golden Knights. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I remember you asked me, like, are you on that kind of boat where, like, oh, if we had a shot? And that's the biggest, like, I hate thing about the playoffs. Like, when you don't play, like, right now, all I'm seeing is, like, Carolina looking at Bobrovsky in this round. Like, where the fuck was this guy in our matchup against him when we got swept?
I hate that. I hate when people say that, because they might not be doing it on purpose, but you're discrediting what Vegas did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's those type of things where, like, man, if we had our shot against the champions, it would have been different, or the team that eventually won, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But all that to say is Vegas is the most consistent team this year. I think,
like, I saw Oilers fans saying, "Oh, we lost to the Stanley Cup champions 2 years in a row. We could be 2-time champions right now." I'm like, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Like, it just doesn't. Like, it's so many variables and luck and just health, and it's just a amalgamation of things. But then at the end of the day, I think that Vegas is the best. I don't think there's an argument. Like, after looking at the body of work, and I hate saying this, I'm honestly taking the Stanley Cup champion win for you guys, like, a lot better than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be better. I thought I was going to feel like if the Ducks or the Sharks ever won again. Like,
yeah.
Or the Ducks again, the Sharks ever, whatever. By the way, thank you. Shout out to the Sharks for giving you Aiden Hill for a fourth-round pick.
I cannot stress this enough. We would not win the cup if not for San Jose Sharks. So if there's any San Jose Sharks fans, I cannot stress this enough. We would not be winning the cup right now if it wasn't for the help of the San Jose Sharks. So thank you, Sharks.
So I say all that to, like, so I've taken it a lot better than I thought. I thought it was going to be better. I thought I was going to be angry or upset, and I wasn't. Honestly, seeing you go through the motions kind of just made me relive 2014 and 2012 a little bit differently. 2012 was unexpected because I was just so new into the sport. 14 was like, at that point. Oh yeah, in 2013, it was the first year I was like in. I was like, everything. I need to know everything. And then 14, it was just the ride, and that's what makes it special. That's what I was bitter at, where I'm like, fuck, I want that again. Like,
yeah.
Like, and then the fact that it's exactly 9 years since the Kings won the cup last time.
We've talked about this off the podcast, where other of our friends have said it, like, oh, like, I don't care if we win or not. It's just fun to be there.
Yeah.
But when your team has a chance, you care.
Yeah.
You realize how much you really want it. Because, like they say, you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Yeah.
So when your team actually has a chance at winning this thing, at going deep in the playoffs, where you know how good your team can be, and they just come up short, that shit fucking hurts. Like, it hurts so bad. That's what I'm like. That's why, I get it. Vegas has only been around for 6 years, but man, did that shit hurt year after year getting this close.
And there's another thing. So I love narratives, and Vegas is a fascinating one. Like, if I didn't, again, I don't think the Kings and the Knights have a rivalry because the Kings have never beaten the Vegas Golden Knights, and this just adds to the want.
Agree.
I eventually want a rivalry with Vegas, like an actual rivalry where both teams are good and they've beaten each other once, because I do think that's what creates the rivalry. Like,
you know what's the problem? I think on your rise, we're going to be on our downfall. Similar to when we were on our rise. LA was on the downfall.
Maybe,
so I think if we do meet in the playoffs again, it's gonna probably not be great for me. But
maybe, and it's a whole thing. 6 years is a long fucking time. I think that's another thing we're not fucking discrediting. And I fucking hate defending Vegas because I don't think I need to make this goddamn point. But people have look. This is me being mean to people on the internet, but people have fucking bad takes. Okay, so
really bad takes, especially when it comes to Vegas. It irks me.
You deserve a lot of it, but I love the cyclical nature of how sports works. I love that stories kind of come to a conclusion at the end of the year, and the irony that it's Florida, the irony that it's probably the biggest fleecing in terms of the expansion draft. When you look back and like the reframing of the expansion draft, where look at that fucking opening projected roster in year one that Vegas had was Shipachyov and James Neal and David
Chip the shot.
Perron and
Best shooting percentage in Golden Knights history.
never going to be beaten.
A solid 100% shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like all that stuff and Florida, like Marchessault and Smith and a fourth, I believe, to protect Alex Petrovic, who eventually got traded like that year also.
See, I thought it was Petrovic too, but people were saying it was some other guy. I forgot something with a B.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Alex Petrovic. I'm not gonna say I'm wrong. I think I'm right.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying in these last 2 days where I've been watching a lot of media coverage on it, they've all been saying this other guy. It starts with a B. I already forgot. He's pretty well known.
Either way,
Yeah,
to have Jonathan Marchessault win the Conn Smythe against Florida, to have Riley Smith have the game-winning goal against Florida in the cup-clinching game, it's outstanding. It's amazing how sports work and how things happen. And like I said, I think the narrative of Vegas is that they wasted a lot of opportunity early on. They made the wrong decisions, but it doesn't matter because they won. So now you can create whatever narrative you want about the expansion draft, having whatever rules to set up a team perfectly, but you want this if you're the NHL and honestly, if you're a hockey fan in general, you don't want to see what happened in the early 2000s with expansion where teams bad for 10 plus years. That's not how you build a fan base. And if you can build a team out of everybody's fourth best defenseman, seventh best forward, and their backup goalie, and make something of it, like come on.
I mean, you're right. Florida got fleeced the hardest because,
and they did it to themselves.
William Karlsson, Columbus Blue Jackets. No one knew. No, there was no way of knowing. That was pure dumb luck.
Or good scouting. I don't know.
Jay Theodore. They knew he was going to be good, but he was still young, and they had other better players at the time to protect. Maybe they should have thought about the future and not the present, but I mean, that is what it is.
But it's funny, like we look at back, like all the picks that the most important ones, I think you could say, even the Kings, I think, made the wrong choice in protecting Derek Forbert instead of Braden McNabb. Like that was the big conversation there, and I would have kept McNabb over Forbert, but Forbert was a first round pick. By the way, fun fact, the pick right before Derek Forbert, Vladimir Tarasenko. So imagine how that would have changed. So they blew that twice with him, and that's a more personal story more than anything. But Alex Tuck in Minnesota to protect Matt Dumba, like so many things. And did Vegas take advantage of stuff? Yeah. Did Vegas also take advantage of the cap situation? Yeah, but who hasn't? And it doesn't matter. Like all this stuff of complaining about like the system's rigged or like you've seen the NHL, you've seen the officiating. Like the NFL, the NHL isn't competent enough to rig anything. And at the end of the day,
I agree.
Do I agree with what they did to Marc-Andre Fleury and Nate Schmidt? No, but it all paid off. It all paid off at the end of the day, and that's what it is. And
that's brings up a conversation. Maybe we don't have that today, but we should probably talk about this at some point in the future where, and it's been brought up by a lot of analysts, where Vegas is hated because they've been a very cutthroat franchise, and the NHL in general is very much a lot about loyalty for the most part. I mean, not always, but loyalty is a big deal. And Vegas isn't loyal, yet the cutthroat nature of their business clearly worked. And the question a lot of people are asking are more teams going to take the Vegas approach? Because people will look at teams that won cups and be like, I need to do that. Vegas looked at Tampa. Oh, they're over the cap. I need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, winning.
And we can get deeper into it in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, winning's a weird thing. Like it again reshapes narratives, right? Vegas was a perennial choke artist until they aren't. Yep. Washington, Alex Ovechkin was a perennial choke artist until he wasn't. Like
they couldn't beat Penguins. The Pittsburgh was their nemesis. They couldn't beat them.
And then the last thing I want to kind of point out is Vegas in my opinion, joining the teams of winning when they shouldn't have. And that's not to say that Vegas wasn't a good team, but this wasn't the year that Vegas should have won. It should have been any other number, last year or the year before that.
I mean, there's a reason why in every series Vegas was the underdog going in, obviously. Because, like you said, they weren't supposed to win this year.
No, and you have a third string goalie as your goalie, and it joins the year fucking the Blues.
Technically, fourth string, fifth if you include Leonard.
Yeah, and
it's just kind of nuts.
The Blues were a team that could get in at the second round. They were dead last that season. They won, and they won. The Capitals, the year before that, they went all in, traded for guys like Kevin Shattenkirk to bolster up the roster, bought at the deadline, and they won the year after. It's insane how often we see that. Like the year after is really the year that gets going.
It feels like a lot of times the team that wins the cup, it's the team that for 2-3 years you're like, they're right there. Yeah. They're next in line, and they don't do it. And then they do it. So I'm curious. I mean, I would not want this. I know you don't want this. But that's what everyone says about Edmonton at the moment. Every year, they're like, it's their time. Like everyone was saying about Colorado, and then they won it. Everyone was saying it about Tampa, then they won it. People were saying it about Vegas those first 2-3 years. They didn't really say it the last 2 years. And now they've won it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think they're on the short list. I think you look at Carolina in terms of long-term success, but hasn't won a cup yet. I think those are the two teams that stand out for me, Edmonton and Carolina, where ideally progress is linear, right? Like it goes forward, but sometimes you just don't do it. And it could be for a myriad of factors. Like the Sharks should have won a cup in the mid.
I was about to say,
10 to
Sharks,
16.
Sharks were that team where they're like, oh, they're this close. They're next in line. And thank God they did it. The window got shut on them.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Like the very first year that I moved here was the year they made the final run, and
the Cinderella team, St. Louis Blues, shut the window on their fingers, crushed them, broke them, and they fell down. And now they're recovering in the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. It feels like we talked about this off the podcast. So many times we see the team of destiny, the Cinderella story, always runs out of time.
Yeah.
Always wakes up.
Yeah.
It happened to Vegas in year one. It happened to Montreal,
Dallas,
and but St. Louis was able to complete it.
Yeah, and it's again it's such a it's such a unique thing in terms of like what determines playoff success. And a lot of the time it's luck. A lot of the time it's just skill, right? And when it comes to the Florida Panthers, again, a team that made a run the year after they were supposed to make a run. Don't forget, last year they won the President's Trophy. They looked real good heading into the playoffs, and then struggled in the round one matchup, and then basically got their asses handed to them by Tampa. And they make this run, and like I said, by the way, pat on my back for fucking nailing this series. 5, and it isn't close.
By the way, you nailed our Vegas' first series.
Yeah.
Dead on the money, and you nailed this one dead on. Eric, you may be a hockey genius. Maybe. But I think again, and
you
know what's funny?
Yeah.
I said Vegas in 6, but in reality, my real prediction that I didn't want to say because I didn't want to jinx it was I thought Vegas was gonna sweep, and they almost did.
Yeah,
and they almost did.
I knew Florida was in trouble when they lost game 4 because they were up 3-1, but losing, I was like, if they get blown out, it is what it is. Like I think it's just whatever, stuff happens in a game.
I mean,
it goes out of control.
Florida could have iced the full squad, and I still think they lose to Vegas. And I know there's no determining that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I just think Vegas is a better team.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's the most likely outcome out of it. But I was gonna say, like, in game 2, the game 2 loss where they lost, I think 7-3 or something like that, isn't as bad as the game 4 loss, because that is them That is literally you watching the Magic run out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Losing a 1-goal game, which is essentially Florida's specialty, because they ended the playoffs with the second worst goal differential for a finalist ever. So they did get blown out at times, but at the same time, they won 1-goal games. They won 4 straight against Carolina in 1-goal games, essentially. I believe there was an empty netter in there, but all close games. Like, the game 4 loss and the way they lost that one told me a lot more about, like, this is what I envisioned, like, just it running out. And
you're right. It did. And that's, to me, like, internally, I became so confident after that win because I'm like, if Florida would have won that, Vegas might be in trouble.
Yeah, it changes the narrative 100%. But, like, let's talk about...
It broke their back. It broke Florida's back.
They ran out of it, and they ran out of players. Matthew Tkachuk.
You know what's so funny? There's a few narratives of that game 4 that really annoy me from Florida fans. One, so they blew a whistle, and then it led to nothing. And we're like, why did they blow the whistle? Clearly, they blew the whistle because Tkachuk pushed Hill down in the net. And then the rest, like, oh, we're not going to call a penalty on Florida because he did get pushed, but then he shoved Hill as he was falling. So I think the rest talked it over, and they were like, you know what? Instead of putting them both in the box, we're just not going to take either of them.
And that's another aspect of the finals that I think was fascinating. I think in the Toronto series, the narrative for Florida is that they just beat the shit out of them, right?
Yeah,
they just beat the shit out of Toronto, and it did not work against Vegas. The opposite happened. And
that's the other thing analysts are talking about, where Vegas, only one player is under 6 feet, and that is your Conn Smythe winner, Jonathan Marchessault. They're like, our team's going to go bigger now that Vegas clearly bullied the bully. You know what I mean?
But let me tell you, like, Tampa's the outlier because they have actually a lot of smaller players. They just do. The St. Louis
was a big team.
St. Louis was a big team. The Kings were a big team. Like, it happens.
I don't know. I don't want to consider Colorado big. They have big players.
I think they're just skilled. Like,
yeah, you're right. I think that one's just a skilled team. Like,
they do have size. Don't get me wrong, but the way they excel is, the skill department.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So we get this narrative over and over again of, like, our team's gonna go bigger. Probably. Like, it's just people copy each other all the time in the NHL. Yeah. Then, like you said, like with the LTIR stuff, like, people find exploits. All right, work for them is gonna work for us, and not a lot of time it's maybe.
Funny story. 2 things. LTIR thing. First off, if your team had a chance to do it, they would have done it, and you would not have been. And I'm not talking to you, Eric, specifically. I'm talking to the people complaining about it. Until they fix the rules, you can't bitch about it. Second, when they did the vote about either keeping that rule, I forgot, a couple of years ago, about the whole cap compliant rule for the playoffs. When they voted, Vegas voted against that rule. So they were one of the teams that wanted to get rid of the whole no cap in the playoffs. It was them and I think Tampa, funny enough, or I forgot who it was. But Vegas was one of 2 teams only to vote against it, and it lost. So it's not like Vegas came in like, oh, it's kind of like...
Well, Tampa's Tampa got affected by it, funny enough, against them in 2015. When all of a sudden, hey, look at that, Patrick Kane, game 1.
Yeah, Chicago.
He's back, baby.
So I think it was Tampa and Vegas that voted, like, to get rid of that rule, and it failed because the rest of the team was like, it's not a problem. There should be no cap in the playoffs.
But let's talk about Florida. Their injuries are... Whoa.
Oh my God!
You already mentioned Matthew Tkachuk and the broken sternum.
Broken sternum and 2 broken ribs too. On top of that.
By the way, did you hear the story of Brady Tkachuk needing to help him get himself dressed after like naps and stuff?
Yeah.
Insane. Like the fact he played game 4 and scored.
I'll say this.
Insane.
Fucking Matthew Tkachuk. Props to you, man. To play game 4 under those circumstances.
And he was their best player.
Erick, I don't think I could live life under those
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah, and he was their
I
best
don't think
player.
I could
It's
do
insane.
I don't think I could do my day to day under. I don't think I could go take a shit and wipe my ass under those circumstances. And this man played a full hockey game, but at the same time, why are you swinging your stick like a sword at the end of Game 4 if you're injured?
Hey, you got to do the hockey thing of losing, and you get angry. Aaron Ekblad suffered a broken foot in the Boston series in round 1. He had 2 separate shoulder dislocations and a torn oblique. I believe Brendan Montour also had a torn oblique. Rocco Gudas high ankle sprain. Sam Bennett suffered an upper body injury in the second round against Toronto. Like,
didn't Gudas suffer 2 concussions too? One of these guys could suffer 2, which is kind of. I don't know if you should have let this player play.
Oh, also, Aaron Ekblad also passed a concussion test, so he had one at some point. Like,
but I'm even if you pass, like if you get 2 concussions, should this player really be playing?
The answer is no, but yes. I mean, if you have a broken sternum, Miguel, should you be playing?
No.
So,
I mean, I don't know if people know your lungs are right next to it. Like something can go really wrong real fast.
I mean, Patrice Bergeron famously won a cup with a ruptured lung. So
yeah, true.
Hockey players, different breed. So like, if you're a Florida fan, that's the only thing that you're like, fuck. I wish, like, if you lose at full strength, you're like more, I think, at ease of it. Like you just got your ass kicked. So this will always be like a what if moment because, like we said, Miguel, like these runs are not guaranteed. They're special. It's hard to take them for granted. I know you've been there 4 out of 6 years to the conference final, 2 out of 6 in the final, but at the same time, like it's not guaranteed. Like you never know when it's going to happen again, and it could have just been special. Does Florida have a good chance of getting back there? Yeah. Like Matthew Tkachuk is good enough if he heals up, 4 months off. Who knows the way this team is, but that's the only thing. If I'm a Florida fan, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I wish we could have gone down swinging instead of limping down like they did, losing 9-3.
I mean, I don't know what Florida's cap looks like. I don't know what their contracts look like, but I don't think Florida is a one and done. I think they're going to be another team that's right there every season, and maybe one year they win it. Because people forget, and we talked about this. They won the President's Trophy last year. They're not a bad team. Yeah, they crawled in, but you got to remember, Barkov was out most of the season this year. And any team loses a Barkov, and they're fucking significantly worse. You know what I
mean? Let's see. They have 2 RFAs, Giovanni Smith, Colin White, Eric Stahl's a UFA. And then on defense, Ratko Gudas is a UFA, Mark Stahl is a UFA, and that's pretty much it. They probably...
first off, you want to get rid of the Stahl brothers.
God, their ass. They were so bad.
Throw them into the sun, get rid of them.
Zero pride in their game.
Pride.
And then in terms of goaltending, Bobrovsky, of course, still there at $10 million. And then they need to figure out what's up with Spencer Knight, who went into the player-assisted program. So... they're bringing a lot of their pieces back. They should be okay. Miguel, if I can I talk about something else that's irking me?
Yes.
People dumping on Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, there's nothing he could have done. Like, 5 games played in the final, Miguel. 8.43 save percentage, 5 goals saved allowed. 5 goals allowed per game. 75% high dater save percentage. But Miguel,
the team in front of him. What do they do, Erick?
I want you nothing. Absolutely nothing. I want you to do me a favor while I talk. Go to Natural Stat Trick.
Okay, and I'm already there.
Go to the series recap, and then I want you to go look at the shot map and hit all for me. And I want you to tell me 2 things that just stand out to you in terms of where both these teams got all their goals from. All right, and you tell me if Sergei Bobrovsky shit the bed or not.
Erick, it looks like a giant meteor just landed right in front of Bobrovsky.
Right? How many goals? Hold on. How many goals did Florida score in all situations right in front of the net?
1.
And that was a 6-on-5 goal to tie the game in Game 3.
And one wraparound.
The first goal of the series, the shorthander by Eric Stahl, and that's it. So you look at this and you tell me. How in tarnation? How in God's green earth is Sergei Bobrovsky going to have a good playoff outcome when that is the support he's getting?
And this goes back to my point that I feel like Vegas wasn't getting enough credit, where teams live in Vegas zone, but that is by design. That is by the Bruce Cassidy system. But guess what? Those big boys, forwards and defensemen, will push you to the sides. So you're forced to shoot from all around the zone, but not in the middle.
And
As you
that's
can see on this,
exactly what happened. In 5 games,
uh,
they had 2 goals that were like within like 2 feet, I guess.
yeah, yeah, because the next closest ones were freaking in the face-off circle.
So stop. Like Bobrovsky played great. Like that, he stole.
Oh yeah,
game
he played
3.
amazing. Let's be honest with you. If it's Lyon in net or almost any other goalie, Vegas sweeps this series. First off,
By the way, I do have another thing to give credit for Vegas. Goalie save percentage for every round. Connor Hellebuck 886, Jake Ottinger 877, Stuart Skinner 875, Sergei Bobrovsky 848.
so you this is a point I wanted coming into this podcast. I wanted to make. This is why I asked you what website I can get these stats at. What did I say last podcast? That year after year after year, the heartbreak, and Vegas fans always left saying, if we didn't run into a hot goalie. Remember I said this?
Mm-hmm.
And then they got to the point where I'm like, maybe it's not the goalie. Maybe it's not the goalie. Maybe it's the fucking team and the forwards and the system that is being implemented. So it's not that we were cursed. It's not that we ran into hot goalies. Yeah, you do run into hot goalies, but it's your job to figure out how to score on this hot goalie. So now this year with Bruce Cassidy, who outcoached every coach in his entire playoffs run, amazing. Love Bruce Cassidy. That guy's a legend. We made these Vezina winning trophy goalies, these hot goalies, look below average. So it goes to show you. This is why the opposite, where I told you it pisses me off when people like, oh, where was this Bob when we played him? It's because your team didn't make him look like this Bob. Vegas went in there with the best game plan they could come up with, and it fucking worked. And they made these amazing goalies, these Vezina level goalies, look like they don't even belong as a backup to the NHL goalies.
Yeah. So
Am I wrong? Like,
no. Vegas played great. And then
Carolina.
Bob
didn't come to Earth. Didn't come back to Earth. Vegas dragged them down to Earth.
Yeah, I would say that, and that's again, Bobrovsky did not play bad. Like his numbers are bad. He did not play bad.
Eric, you look at the heat map.
It's just fucked up. It's fucked.
If Carolina shoots that much in there, they probably win the series against Bob.
Yeah, or Toronto or anybody.
Anyone, any of them, Boston, any of them.
And then the last thing I wanted to shout out, Jonathan Quick, first goalie ever to lift a cup for the Kings, first goalie ever somehow to also lift the cup for the Golden Knights. I have a Quick autographed jersey hung on my wall. You came over right during my wedding where he barely got traded. What a bittersweet feeling seeing Martinez hand the cup off to Quick. 9 years exactly since the last time they won it in LA.
I was gonna ask you, how did you feel when you saw that clip? Like,
I got emotional. I got emotional, man. Like it's I think Martinez had an interview afterwards that I saw, and just talking about like, we forget the human aspect of a lot of things, and Quick didn't have the greatest season, and it was a hard decision all around, but it was necessary. Like you saw that both guys, Quick benefited ultimately. Like I know people get a lot of shit for him and like Phil Kessel for like, hey, getting an A on the group report without doing anything, but you still got to be part of the team.
You still got to be part of the team.
You still got to come into work. Like there's like all of us in every job that we have are people who aren't front facing, aren't the most outspoken, but do exactly what they need to. And by all accounts, Phil Kessel and Jonathan Quick played their roles great and supported the biggest teammates.
And that's needed because and you might not know this, and people that don't follow the team might not know this. You could be like Phil. You could be a player like Phil Kessel, Quick, Thompson, any of these guys who were not playing, who were either like Quick in the Quick situation, he was riding the bench the entire time. Phil Kessel, who was suited up watching from the players, whatever area. You could be negative, bad attitude because you can be in your head like, oh, I want to be there, I should be there. Or you can be a positive person like Phil and Quick were, where so many of their teammates, so many of the Golden Knights players, when interviewed before the championship, even after the championship, like, oh, what did it mean having Phil Kessel? Oh, he's one of the funniest guys. Like, he's great to have there in the locker room, in the practice, because hey, they're veterans. They've been here forever. Same thing with Hill. Hill said nothing but great, and I'm not that they're gonna shit on them, but nothing but great things about Quick, where he was constantly saying like Quick would go to Quick for advice, or Quick would see something that Hill did and be like, hey, just so you know, you did this. I think it's smart if you do that. So like, yeah, they didn't play, but I think they played just as big of a part in this team
Yeah.
and then winning the championship just by being there. And the one thing I loved about Quick is, I don't know if you saw it, TSN posted it, like he's with his family
Yeah.
and his son's crying. And that got me emotional, because you look at his son, you even look at his daughter, and if you look at the presser from when he won the cup the second time with his daughter's so young.
9 years later.
I don't even know how old that kid probably wasn't even born or was a baby. I don't remember. So for there, even though they get to see their father play, but now they will have an actual memory that they remember of this celebration, of this party, of their dad lifting and winning the championship, even though he didn't play. And that's awesome.
And like we saw this run, with Aiden Hill having to be ready out of nowhere. The run with Colorado, all of a sudden Pavel Francouz to come in for Darcy Kemper in the conference finals. Binnington, getting the call out of nowhere. Like, I know he started the playoffs, but he was in the ACHL that year. Braden Holtby didn't start the first 2 games of Washington's run. Like, you never know when you need to play. And at the end of the day, they're part of the team just as much as everybody. So it's cool to it was cool. Like, as much as, again, I hate watching Vegas lift the cup, because and it's not out of spite. It's not out of like, I'm angry that you guys won. Like, I want it again. Like, it just reminds me so much of 2014 and just the feeling of elation. And that's why I was so happy for you.
Yeah.
Like, I could, as you're going through it, like the pregame jitters that we were talking about, the drinking, because I did the exact same thing. Before the game, I drank. I had an option of going to game 5, but I couldn't do it just because I don't think my nerves would have like held. And then double overtime game 5. So like, I didn't have like the 20 minutes of like, it's happening. Like, I decided to go to a King's bar in Santa Monica.
I will say this, for those who were not Vegas fans, I understand a lot of them saying this finals was boring, and you're probably right, because Florida never had a chance. The game was done in the second period. But as a Vegas fan, being in that building, I jumped, I screamed, I high-fived and hugged everybody around me after every single one of those 9 goals.
Yeah, there is
Erick.
no feeling of one of my favorite videos I have on my phone from that 2014 run is just the bar just being all together and just having people around you. Like it's incredible, and I remember being a nervous wreck, but you're a nervous wreck with a bunch of other people, and that the valve breaking and it happening, and you have no idea how you're here, and it's just surreal. And the walk away from wherever you're watching the game, like you out of the arena, me out of a bar, is incredible. I don't know if you've picked up merch yet, but like even that feeling of you getting to like,
but I'm probably gonna order a bunch online once I get paid, because I'm a broke boy.
I mean, for a good reason, like all that stuff is so unique and incredible. And we talked with Aaron last year.
Walking out that arena, and literally, I gave so many high fives, more than any time in my life.
Yeah, and then the worst part is, or I shouldn't say the worst part, but the weirdest part is when you stop, right? You stop and you take it all in. And I'm getting chills right now, like just remembering, like just that feeling of you stop, you take it all in, and you're just remembering, and you're champions, baby.
Matt, I woke up
Vegas
this morning.
Golden Knights are the Stanley Cup champions.
I woke up this morning, I was like, legitimately, I looked at my phone, I'm like, fuck, did this really fucking happen? Like, it is surreal. It was a surreal moment. Like, and it's funny, I wake up this morning, I went to bed last night. I woke up in the middle of the night, I was thirsty, And I wake up and Erick, my arms, all this hurt. And I'm like, why does this hurt? And I'm like, fuck it, because I was doing this all night. You know what I mean? And giving out so many high fives. I'm like, man, it's amazing. And now Vegas's parade is Saturday night.
And that's the whole another thing. That's man, it's such a great experience. So I'm excited.
And and I can't wait. I've never been to a championship parade. I've seen them on TV, the LA ones. Those looked awesome.
Yeah, no, they were great. Got to do the parade route. Got to be on Figueroa Street. That led up into Staples Center. Got to go in Staples Center because someone was next to me. Like they had a ceremony inside the arena, and they're like, "Do you want these tickets?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want these tickets." So I have like just an amazing thing that. You're going to have fun. And by the way, first ever fucking parade at night. I don't think I've ever seen a championship parade at night. But yeah, have to when you win a championship in the desert and it's like 90 degrees at like 2 in the afternoon.
Plus, with those streets packed, the lights all shining because it's dark out. And I'm going to guess a lot of those, they're working with all those casinos there because they have these big Titantrons, these big TVs outside. Yeah. Are probably going to be saying like go night, like all this congratulations stuff. And it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to visually, I think it's going to be one of the coolest looking parades.
Yeah. On a Saturday night too. Like not just any night, Saturday night. So.
Although the only thing I'm upset about, and I get it, is that the parade route is semi-short.
Yeah, it's from the Flamingo to I guess about where T-Mobile's at, right?
Plaza, yeah. So, but it does do a U-turn so that it does extend the parade. So it starts from the Flamingo, and it goes to the next street, Tropicana.
Fun fact: but Miguel and I have stayed at the Flamingo together.
Yeah, we did. But it's a long street, so it's not like your regular one light to the next light. It's a very long street. So it goes all the way to Flamingo, Tropicana. It loops back down into this little side street called the Park Avenue, I think, or Park something. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much called the Park, and it goes down to that side street, and it's gonna go right into in front of the T-Mobile Arena in the Toshiba Plaza.
Get excited, Miguel. It's a great feeling. It's a unique thing of just different energy. It's definitely a celebration of the culmination of everything. Yeah, Miguel, the season's over. Your Vegas Golden Knights are Stanley Cup champions. Last question for you before we wrap up, I guess, the year, because fun fact, Saturday, you go to parade. I go to my honeymoon. I'm going to Hawaii. So shout out to Vegas for ending this sooner rather than later.
I'll probably release a solo episode next week talking about my parade experience, and then we'll probably won't be back until Erick come back in time for the draft. I would assume.
I might come the day before the draft.
So we'll do a full episode after that. But your question?
One word to describe this year.
Unbelievable. It's corny, but it's unbelievable.
Well, Miguel, send us to the parade. Why don't you?
For all the... Before I get to that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Miguel. You can find me at Miguel Kicks all over the internet. You can find me on the Strip Saturday night for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know why I say Las. I hate that.
That's
Vegas Golden Knights Parade. You can find Collectors Lobby on YouTube. I got a brand new video up there. I got another one coming out tomorrow. When you listen to this, it's already up, probably. And Erick, where can the people find you?
My favorite thing right now is that I've infected you by calling them the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
I know. I've never, in 6 years, don't ever make that mistake. I start talking to you, Erick, I make that mistake more often now.
Oh, I love it. The Las Vegas Golden Knights. You'll love to see it. Man. I made a new logo for us to commemorate fucking Miguel's Golden Knights. What is it? Uniting the Realm.
Unite the Realm.
Yeah.
It's backwards, but
it's not great. Actually, no. It's forward for us, baby.
Oh,
I flipped you.
Backwards for me.
Yeah.
Unite the Realm. And we did unite the realm.
Listener, for those not being able to see this, Miguel's holding up a rally towel from the game on Game 5. So I made a new logo to celebrate. Has the cup instead of the I, and has the V represented by the Vegas V. As they revised this show, Miguel. They revised this show, slapped on a new look, and has stomped over my kingly heart as they're the first team between us. to win the cup. So congratulations. I'm handling this again a lot better than I thought. So that logo can be found on a shirt. It'll probably put it on a hat. Bonfire.com. Search Pacific Revision. It'll also probably be on our Twitter. Also head over to Miguel Kicks' Twitter account, or the Pacific Revision Twitter account at Pacific Revision, for parade coverage. Find me personally at _Erick Oriana at _ERICKORELLANA. I'll probably post pictures from Hawaii. I had a lot of people reaching out to me yesterday through Twitter about like, how am I feeling? I will say, shout out to the Kings fans that I talked to yesterday. This is better than the Oilers. We all consensually agreed, better than the Oilers. So we're also winners in this.
I'll say this. I'm a known Reddit creeper into other subreddits.
You torture yourself.
It seems like the LA fans are actually taking this very well compared to other teams. Very little LA fans seem angry. Most of them are like, better than Oilers, better than the Sharks.
Good
and
to
we're
see.
happy for McNabb and Quick and Martinez.
And Amadio. Never forget Amadio.
A lot of them don't mention Amadio. Most of them are just big Martinez and McNabb.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different thing. So good job on us. Good job on us by being more bitter towards the Oilers than we are Vegas. Because I said, not a rivalry. Not a rivalry.
But you're right. But either way, for all you that have been listening through this whole season, for those who picked up at some point, who just listened today, we thank you very much. And this is a nice little bow to end the season of your Vegas Golden Knights 2023 Stanley Cup Champions. No one can ever take it away. So I thank each and every single one of you for listening, watching, or whatever you do, however you consume this product. I thank you. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Peace.
Goodbye.